Today I'm going to highlight MidPointe's offerings through our eLibraries. The digital platforms we offer encompass much more than ebooks. Through our two e-branches, our resources range from audiobooks and movies to music and comic books. We have two e-libraries you can borrow from, Hoopla and the Ohio Digital Library, which is also known as Libby. To access the e-libraries, make sure you have your library card number and your PIN readily available. So if you head to our website, which is midpointelibrary.org, and hover over e-resources, you'll go down to our e-library, and it'll show you our two options that we have here, Hoopla and the Ohio Digital Library. So we're going to go ahead and start with Hoopla. So the big categories with Hoopla, they have audiobooks, comics, ebooks, movies, music, and television. A couple of these that I just briefly want to highlight. Audiobooks. If you're a big audiobook listener, these are great because they can download directly to your device. If you have a smartphone or a tablet, you can download the Hoopla app and then access all of their materials on your device in a much quicker way. And it also gives you the option when you borrow an ebook or an audiobook to download it directly to your device. Another category that I want to look at are comics. This is always a huge category. It seems to be growing every day. They have comics, graphic novels, across all age ranges as well. You'll find, the popular kids titles such as Big and Nate, but then it also has teen and adult titles as well, and does, like the Marvel and DC comic arcs with it. Up next, we have music. I'm going to skip movies for just a second. Music is great. Again, if you're using your smartphone or if you're using a tablet, you do have the option to download the title occasionally, but you do have to be careful. It will let you know. So for example, this title is only available to stream, so you will not be able to download it to a device, but it always lets you know before you borrow it, so you don't have to worry. And then lastly, we have movies and television. They work the same way, but I want to highlight television in particular because it's a little different than when you borrow a series in person. So, for example, we'll just take a look at Brokenwood Mysteries Series 7 right here at the top. Now, instead of borrowing the entire season, you get to borrow one episode at a time. I find this to be a little better personally because I don't always have time to get through an entire season, but I know when I can make it through a 91-minute episode. So I already have episode 1 borrowed. It would just kind of work the same way. Click on borrow, and then it lets you know your options for how you want to watch it, which is another great feature with Hoopla. So Hoopla is available on more than just app stores. If you want to borrow a television series or a movie, but don't really want to watch it on your phone screen or even on your computer screen, you can watch it on your television if you have particular platforms. So Hoopla is available through Chromecast, Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, and Roku. So that gives you a lot of options as well. Our second e-library that I want to talk about is the Ohio Digital Library. So I'm using the desktop version of the Ohio Digital Library, but if you're browsing on your phone or your device, I recommend using Libby. Libby is the app that they use through the App Store and Google Play. It's just a little cleaner, a little easier to navigate on a smaller screen, but the desktop version works well for our purposes today because it makes it easier for me to show you some of our excellent offerings. So if we look at collections at the top, again, they do have ebooks, but audiobooks, videos, and magazines are also their big titles as well. Their videos are slightly different than Hoopla. A couple of their great features, they have picture books. It's not the exact same as a read-along. It doesn't give you the text, but it does have the pictures and it reads the story along and shows you a great video of some of your fun stories, like the Pigeon series, always very popular. if we go back up to collections, same with audiobooks. If you have Libby on your device, then you can download this directly to it, take your audiobook with you on the go, in the car, on your walk, anything like that. Makes it really easy to keep up with all of your favorite titles. And then one last collection that I do want to highlight on the Ohio Digital Library are Stories and Songs in Sign. These are children's stories and songs that are presented in American Sign Language and animation. Sometimes it'll be along with a book, sometimes it's just a fun little song, but I think this is such an excellent offering that you can use in so many different settings. Makes it very accessible for all of our families who might need that. So this was just a very quick highlight of some of the offerings that we have through Hoopla and the Ohio Digital Library. This by no means is a comprehensive look at everything we have. I just wanted to highlight some of the titles or features that you might not be aware of. If you have any more questions, you can always come into one of our branches and we'd be more than happy to help you or give you a closer look at some of these. Or you can always give us a call and our call center will be more than happy to talk you through any issues or questions that you might have. Thanks so much for listening.